All right, so yeah, we're going to be joining a live coverage that's on DSTV, is the Abwad convocation service, but Business Morning continues on all other platforms. All right, let's take the conversation further now. You know, investing when in the midst of a cost of living crisis definitely is a very, very tricky one. But let's bring in Mukhtar Mohammed now as the CEO, Finance with Mukhtar, to tell us how to navigate this. Great to have you on the show. Good morning.
Thank you for having me always, Laddie. My pleasure.
Fantastic. So, talk to me. How do capital markets normally react? You know, in the midst of a cost of living crisis, is it negative? You know, for the capital market?
Laddie, well, of course, it's negative, especially when the earning ability is low. So, if cost of living goes up, first of all, you think of food, you think of housing, you think of clothing, you think of education before you even think of investment, because those are basic necessity. It's only when your basic necessity is met, you begin to think about your desire to make more money. Then you begin to think of the capital market. So when cost of living is high, definitely most investors don't think about investing in the capital market, especially retail investors, which are low-end investors, investors that are trying to build their wealth over a long time. But for high net investors, it could be a better time for them, because that means some of them are making more, seeing assets coming down, and they have the liquidity to come in. But for low earning investors, retail investors especially, and like what you are seeing in the Nigerian market at the moment, you realize that a lot of retail investors are not even taking opportunity of their right issues. Ordinarily, they should be taking opportunity of the right and the offer issue, but they are not, because again, they are thinking of meeting up their basic necessity. And some of them even go as far as reducing their holding to meet basic needs. So definitely when cost of living goes high, the capital market in the short term and sometime in the long term, depending on how long we see this drag suffer.
Right, and we see, you know, most investors now having to deal with currency devaluation, high inflation, and a cost of living crisis at the same time. What would you say is the best, you know, portfolio mix that can help outperform these three?
Well, the best portfolio means is to get you have to be in all space of the Nigeria market, especially the equity market. You want to play the fixed income space if you're looking at short-term returns. You want to play the equity market if you are looking at long-term return. If you are looking at FX devaluation, how it affects your current, how it affects your holding, then you need to play the capital market. So it depends on which side you are. Just like I listened to the last interview I had, if you're a foreign investor, it's good time. FX devaluation is helping you have more holding, also make you invest more and at a cheaper rate. If you're in Nigeria, keeping your money, whether in naira and dollar or not, or it not generating a means of income, mean that you are suffering from depreciation. And if you really want to beat inflation or hyperinflation, it's the stock market that you need to play, because what happens is that the stock market sometimes actually goes up to meet up with inflation, because most of the companies that are listed, their goods and their services will go high. That means they will be able to bring in more profit. And so then the price of their equity also might go up. So definitely at a time like this is not the time to really just keep your money in a savings account that is not generating anything, or you are holding a dollar account and you begin so excited about the dollar account because every morning you see the exchange rate goes up. The only time it makes sense and makes value is when you change it back to naira. What if you are going to be keeping that dollar because you have to, you need to spend it in the United States or in the United Kingdom? You have to know that inflation in those places is about 4 point something percent. So if your dollar is not generating up to 6 to 7%, then you are losing money. So whichever way you are, you just need to see how your money can generate more income.
All right, so it's a brand new trading week right here. What stocks do you think are under the radar right now, or sectors that you think investors should actually be looking at for this week?
Hello, the oil and gas sector, RDI, is there. Last week we saw it listed. We saw it started at a high. We saw a slowdown. I think investors should watch the space for that stock. I think it might be getting to where a lot of investors will begin to see a long-term value. It's about 500 as on it closed at about 600 and something. Investors are still looking at it. I think it's a good investment for the long term. I say for the long term. So that's one space that you have to look at. You also have to look at Transcorp, the whole of Transcorp holding. what has happened, what has this result meant to them, what will happen to Transcorp Hotel, Transcorp Power, and then Transcorp itself. The results are impressive, but commensurate with some of the price of the stocks, you might see some pullback in that space. You could see negativity trend in there, especially in the Transcorp Hotel result that comes out and earning per share of just 1 naira for a stock that is selling almost at 100 naira. That you mean you are looking at a dividend yield of 1 point something percent, which is very, very poor if you look at what has happened in other sectors of the market. The banking sector, UBA result came in over the week, and we've seen the performance has been good. Well, investors now begin to see value, and by and by, we are still waiting for the right issue or the public offer that could also play in this week. HBN Holdings, also like your first guest said, is one space to watch out. They're changing their names. They are coming for the right issue. Is it right price? Is it the right value? So we'll see how investors react to those numbers. For me, those are the sectors that we really have to watch out for. And you know that UBA has always been a stock that the chairman of the group have always said that we are strategic in terms of making sure that all our shareholders enjoy benefit, the right issues, that make sure that it's going to do two right issue after each payment of the dividend. So tomorrow is the day of payment. So we could see those payments come in. We could see the right issue anytime this week. And we could see a lot of activities in the UBA space for me.
All right, so much definitely to unpack there, but thank you so much, Mukhtar Mohammed, CEO, Finance with Mukhtar. It was great having your perspective today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Ladi.
All right, so that's how it's looking right here in Lagos, Nigeria. The markets are open, and we'll be giving you a summary of what's playing out. That's for intraday analysis. That's on Business Incorporated at 1 p.m. We'll bring you all of that information, even from the global markets. That's the show today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ladi Williams. I hand things back over to the Sunrise Daily team.